So welcome to the Node.js Community Benchmarking Workgroup meeting for July 31st, 2018. We're going to be following our standard agenda based on things that are tagged across the repository. So first of all, does anybody have any announcements?
Nope.
Okay, so first of all, the first issue, and I'm just going to keep an eye because I think Udom has been trying to join. We just can't seem to promote him. And anyway, I took a quick look, still can't see a difference. First issue on the list is membership review. So this is number 230. This I opened just to suggest that we should do a membership review. I think that's kind of good practice we've done in at least one of the other working groups, just to sort of make sure we have that the list that we list on our README is a good reflection of who's involved, who's planning to be involved, and so forth. I see, Gareth, you already chimed in with it's a good idea. So I think unless we have any objections before the end of the meeting, I'll likely just go ahead and open the issue to start that process.
Yep.
Okay.
I think Uten's there as well now.
Okay.
I had the option of pressing promote, so hopefully you'll be.
Okay. I see 0 attendees, but still just us two as panelists. Yep. There you go. So Udom, I think if you're talking, you're on mute. Hey, you're there. I guess I can't unmute him. Let's try chat. Oops. Just letting Udom know that we can see him but not hear him so far. Just see if we can fix that up in 1 minute, just before we move on to the next issue. So those watching, we're just trying to see if we can get Udom properly connected in. Okay, so maybe while we wait, I know not on the agenda in terms of the tagged issue, but I know, Gareth, you were working on doing some of the measurements. Do you have an update on that front?
I've not had a chance to do anything more on it since the last meeting.
Okay.
I'll go and tag that with the benchmark agenda there, and then we can.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt that way. It'll be on the agenda and a reminder to discuss that. The next two would be really great to get Udom so that he can chat with us, since he's on the hook for the next two. So.
Okay. Can you hear me, Mike?
Okay, now we can hear you. Great.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on, but I just could not talk or do anything.
Yeah, no problem. You got it to work. That's what counts. So just we'll quickly flip back to, we're discussing the membership review. I'm not sure if you've taken a look at that issue. Number 230, just suggested we do a review, basically posting task who still wants to be active in the working group. And then, if we either people respond, they're not going to be active, or don't respond, we'll move them to emeritus after, the timelines that I've suggested. Does that sound good to you as well?
Yeah. So I'm just opening that issue, but yeah, just continue.
Okay.
Of course, I want to be active from our side. Sure.
Yeah, I'll open an issue saying, hey, who wants to be active? I'll CC everybody, and then just chime in there saying, yeah, I'll be active. And yeah, certainly the people who've been showing up at the most recent meetings, if I don't see you guys ping in, I will remind you. So the next issue is require cache perf much lower. I think, Udam, you were looking at that one, right?
Yeah, so I don't have any update, but right now, but I do need, I think, the access to benchmarking machine.
Right.
Because I cloned the repo, I tried to reproduce it on a local machine, but I went as far as December build, and I was not able to reproduce that.
Okay. So you want access to the build machine, the benchmarking machine itself, so that...
Yeah, I don't know whether there's anything specific, but I don't seem to be able to get exactly the behavior what we see, the number-wise, the lower ops.
Okay.
I can't seem to get that on my setup.
Okay,
so is that something easy to do, or?
Do you have some SSH keys? So if you can send me your SSH keys, I'm just opening as we speak an issue in the build, the build working group, just as an FYI to people. So let's see. Okay, I'm gonna have to log in. Generally, if I had things already signed in as MDOS, okay. So where is issue? New issue. There's the button. Okay. Access for. What's your GitHub ID again? It's
Utampower, just one word. Both names.
Okay. Yeah. To benchmarking. I'm going to. That's pipe. PAWAR. Sorry.
Yeah, PAWAR.
Right. I have to give access to. I'm going to give. And this is this guy. C. Okay, so I've created this issue.
What's the issue number?
I'm just going to paste it into the issue, in our benchmark issue.
Okay.
Created. So it's 1422 in the build repo. Okay. And I just pasted into the bottom of that issue. So yeah, if you can email me your SSH keys, just the public key.
Okay.
I'll add them to the authorized keys, and then that'll give you access. Just, obviously, as always, take care not to mess up the existing builds or anything like that. But
Sure.
probably, do you need special access, or is it okay if I create like a new user for you?
I don't need special access. I mean,
Okay.
just to be able to run that on that machine where we see that issue.
Okay. So yeah, I'll create a user specifically for you with your own home directory, and then add the keys there.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good. Guess that's it on that issue for now. So I'm sorry, I'm just getting back to the minutes doc. Where is that?
The ghost one.
That is the next one. I just want to take a few minutes, a few notes though on before I. Okay, I can't find it. Okay, sorry about this. I'm gonna have to navigate back. Okay, sorry. Opened. Okay, right. The next one is add ghost workload to the benchmarking. So this is 159.
Yeah. Okay. So for the ghost, I was able to successfully clone the ghost and able to set up on my machine the way it should be running on a Node.js benchmarking setup. The
Okay.
only problem I discovered was it does not work with mainline, the master.
Okay.
It just works with the released 6 and 8 version of Node.
Okay.
And another thing, what I learned about Ghost is what it's really doing is reading a database and just creating a static web page.
Okay.
It does not do a lot of there is not a whole lot of node processing inside. So I don't know exactly what kind of problem it might highlight or may not highlight. I just wanted to kind of bring that
Right.
attention. What kind of workload it is basically.
Would it be one that would catch, like, because you're saying it's doing a lot of database access, so would it be catch things related to I/O if things like that regressed?
That it can do, right? Which are actually right now the Acme Air and Node.js both does a lot of database I/O.
Okay.
But yeah, it can, and only thing different between those is Ghost using MySQL database. But
Okay.
yeah, that is the potentially I/O it can catch. Yeah.
Okay.
And in practical terms, Ghost is normally runs behind Nginx, and the idea of if you look at their web page, the maintainer says that the Nginx will supposed to cache those web pages, and 99% it will not hit the node server at all.
Right. Okay.
That's the idea.
Okay. So I guess the question is, you're just sort of wondering, does it actually fill in our matrix or not, right?
Yeah.
Is there some? Okay.
I mean, if you want to do it, we definitely. I have almost all the information.
Right.
This something really feels our need.
But it only works with 6 and 8, right?
And also it works only at 6 and 8. No, it doesn't work on 10 or any master branch yet.
And is that because it has been like it doesn't work at all, or?
No, so it does work in a way, but so it's supposed two modes. It's supposed the development mode and the production mode.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a huge performance gap between those two modes.
Right.
So your development mode will work with our node master branch, but the production will not.
Okay.
But the gap is too huge to ignore. So if you run in a development mode, you may get, let's say, 5 requests per second versus 50 in production mode.
Right.
Then how do we kind of reconcile that? And that is a big issue also. So ideally, we want to run it in production mode, if at all we want to run,
Right.
and then get the performance.
So at some point, is it planned? Do you think that it'll? Well, I guess it's 10 is not LTS yet, so that's part of the reason, right?
Yeah. So it will take after even LTS is announced or released.
Yep.
It will take few months for them to make it to 10.
Right. Okay. I don't know. What's your take on like, if we think it's not going to add any new diversity, it would probably be better to run something else, right? Because there's only a limited set of things people can look at.
Right. And what I have done, I looked at the general profile on the CPU profile of Ghost versus Node.js and the Acme Air.
Yep.
I see very similar profile for the CPU side. So there is not, I don't really see a big difference between, for example, we generate a lot of code, we have a lot of front end bottlenecks kind of things. Then it's not really that different than other workloads.
Okay.
It's just another workload. That's it.
I mean, I guess I'd lean towards if it doesn't cover something significantly different than those other two, I'd lean towards saying, well, maybe it doesn't make sense after all. And, I'd rather see something like something that stresses promises get in or something like that.
Right. Yeah, we should have something with async and await kind of functionality. But I would rather run it. I would still run it by Brummer, because I know I think last conference in the benchmarking meeting, I think Brummer or Google, I think couple of engineers wanted to see the ghost. I
Right.
just wanted
Okay.
to get some rationale. Say, is it really worth it doing it?
Right. Okay. So basically, the next step is for you to paste your analysis into the issue, or have you already? Sorry, I haven't.
No, I will add details to that issue for sure. What I
Okay.
observed.
So basically, we'll say Udom will post details of investigation into issue. Then we'll validate with Benedict. Was it somebody, Benedict, or somebody else who suggested?
Somebody else from Google, I think. They're part of the whole benchmarking session we had in Vancouver, and I think that's when it came out.
Okay. Okay, so I basically said, next step, Udom will post details of the investigation into the issue. Then we'll validate with those who had suggested it to see if there's some other rationale for running it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll figure out who that is and then add that in.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Those are all the things we had on the tagged issues. Let's just take a quick look to see if there's any new issues, recent issues. Gareth we'd already touched on 225, where Gareth is looking at the time taken to run the benchmarking course, so nothing new on that. I don't see any other new issues. Looking at PRs, if you guys can look at the minutes for past meetings and a review/approve, that would be great. Any other topics or discussion for this week that you guys have?
Nope.
So why the issue the 132 can this be closed?
Which issue?
I think 132.
Okay, I'm flipping to take a look to see 132.
Better measurement of Acme Air memory footprint. That one.
Right. So did we change anything on that, or?
No, I mean, is there anything we should do? It's been inactive for some time, so should we?
Right.
Is there something we could do, or is good and we can close? That's what I'm trying to
Yeah,
understand.
okay. I'm going to say, given that there has not been discussion for a year. So how about if I say, given that there's not been discussion for a year, we should probably close. Please reopen if you think we need to start the discussion again.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Any other topics discussion? I guess one I thought of is do we still want to keep meeting every 2 weeks? I know we switched it from like 3 to 2 or something back when we were a little bit, things were ramping up a bit. I'm just validating if we still think 2 weeks is the right interval.
I was going to say, I wonder if maybe we could make it less often, and then if we get to the point where too much is happening between different meetings, then we can look at making them more regular again. Perhaps. I guess
What do you think?
Once a month, what we had before?
It was either once a month or every 3 weeks, one of the two. But
okay, either one is fine. I think we can reduce one. I guess we can go once in 3 weeks is fine.
Once in 3 weeks, okay. Okay. Okay, I'll do that. I'll update that in the calendar because I think that makes sense too. We can always get together if we need to in between, and otherwise we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Any other things, or should we call it for this week?
Well, I have one thing I was just thinking after our. First of all, just congrats on a successful summit, I guess.
Thanks. Yeah, I think that I was quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was. I think it was very nice. So one thing I noticed was I was talking to various people and I just trying to understand, thinking about the performance, and a lot of people actually did not know about our benchmarking dot node.js.org, the site where we the graphs. So so I had to literally kind of show it to a few people where they can go, where they can track different releases and kind of make the decision when they want to switch or experiment with.
Yep.
So given that feedback, I was thinking, is there a way on our main site node.js.org we can add a link to the performance for the LTS release?
I think we tried that at one point, but weren't quite successful. But there's a big reorg going on now, like they're redesigning the website. So now would be a good time to ask and see how we can get that better integrated.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So can we get better integrated into the website? So maybe can you open an issue in the benchmarking repo saying, hey, like, let's do this?
Okay.
And then we'll try and cross post that into the website org. Like probably we just need to try and do some more promotion, right?
Right.
Like, and we can do that a bunch of different ways. So if we open an issue which is more generic, which is like better promote the benchmarking.nodejs.org and things around benchmarking, one of the things we can do is try and get and we should do it now because there is that work on the website. Mm-hmm. But the other thing too is we could get the like the Node.js Foundation account to tweet it out more regularly, as we're doing with some other working groups. We can possibly even think about, like, should we write some more blogs and do some more promotion and that stuff? Because I think that's a good idea, and that we could use some more fresh faces coming in and more people looking at what's there.
Yeah. Okay. I'll open issue.
Okay. About promotion. Because okay, that sounds good. Okay, because definitely we could try and do some work on that front. I think it'd be good. Any other things? No? Okay. Well then, thanks for taking the time to come. Let me actually just take a quick look to see if there's any questions on the YouTube channel. I don't think I see any, so I guess if anybody is watching and has any questions, they can you can paste them in. We'll wait about 30 seconds or so to see. Okay, I don't see any questions, so I think we'll call it. I'm going to stop the stream. Where is...